Hey, Grace Bible Church. I wanted to come back this week and finish our recommended resources list. These are all the books that I've recommended to our church since the very beginning when we started this. And I brought a bookstore into our church. I started suggesting little resources, little books, mostly. Some are a little bigger, but small things that could help you in your Christian life. And so last week we had 2 stacks. I went through about half of those. And this week I wanted to finish that out. The next one on our list is The Enemy Within. The Enemy Within, Straight Talk About the Power and Defeat of Sin by Chris Lundgaard. It's a great book to help you in your battle against sin. You should be killing sin. John Owen, the Puritan, wrote a book called The Mortification of Sin. And then he wrote a book on indwelling sin. And these two were very helpful for the last few hundred years in the Christian church. And what Chris Lundgaard does is he takes all that information and he shows you exactly how to apply it in more modern language than John Owen, the Puritan, did or would for us today. It's hard for us sometimes to read John Owen, so he simplifies it and he makes it very applicable to us. Next is Praying Through the Bible. Praying Through the Bible by Donald S. Whitney. Many in our church have told me that this has made a big impact on their prayer life. And what Dr. Whitney does is he helps you to take Scripture and then turn that into prayer. He helps you pray through the Bible, and he helps you pray the Bible back to God. So a great little book. It'll help you in your prayer life. Next is Kevin DeYoung, Crazy Busy. We're all very busy in the Christian life, very busy with our work, with our family. His subtitle, I think, really helps us here. A mercifully short book about a really big problem. And it is a big problem. I think you'll get some great application from this book. You'll get some great tips. It will be a help to you. I think all of us are too busy to slow down and think about God and prayer and Scripture and Christ and salvation and the church. Those are things we need to meditate more on. And if we had more time, I think we would. Or made more time, I should say. The Art of Divine Contentment by Thomas Watson is the next book. This is a great book that helped us when we went to seminary. We had quite a life change. We went out to California from living in the hill country in a small town of Texas to Los Angeles. Big family at the time. Quite a shift, and we needed to be more content with where God had put us. And so Thomas Watson, another Puritan, has written a great little treatise on contentment. And if you don't know Thomas Watson, he's the easiest Puritan to read, and he also is the most applicational, meaning he pulls in all the different applications and lots of illustrations. And that's probably why he's the easiest to read. Back to Kevin DeYoung again, Just Do Something. Kevin DeYoung, Just Do Something. Or, here's another title you could give it. He says, How to Make a Decision Without Dreams, Visions, Fleeces, Impressions, Open Doors, Random Bible Verses, Casting Lots, Liver Shivers, Writing in the Sky, etc. This is a book about how to find God's will for your life. He takes 2 examples, finding a husband or wife and finding a job. And he works through what the Bible would say about those big decisions in your life. But this applies to any decision you want to make as a Christian. Christians overdo it, I think, with worldly types of decision making and principles. They ought to seek Scripture more on making decisions. So Kevin DeYoung, Just Do Something. Next is Sing. Sing, I recommended this book to our church. We could always work on singing more, singing louder, singing better. The Gettys help us with that. I think what Christians have done today is accept the popular culture and sort of what's come to us over the radio and what's come to us over the internet. And we think if we don't sing like the pop culture as far as quality or volume, then we shouldn't sing at all in church. We can't sing maybe. And what the Gettys help to remind us is everybody can sing. God's given us the command to sing as a church. And we can do it. Christians throughout the ages have done it up until modern times without even thinking about if they sounded good or not. They just sang. And so their subtitle, How Worship Transformed Your Life, Your Family, and church. So a good short book that will help you in your Christian worship. Next is our own Frank Gutting's Forgiven to be Forgiving. It's just a short booklet. I've used it in working through forgiveness with another man as I counseled him and discipled him. Frank really wrote this as a book that would help you understand forgiveness better. And there's some exercises and questions in here. And it's good to work through with others. Maybe a child, maybe somebody that you're helping to disciple. Application questions. I remember when Frank was putting this together, and he had our church in mind, he had counseling in mind, so I would highly recommend this short little book. And then lastly, Hymns of Grace. Hymns of Grace, this is our hymnal, put out by the Master's Seminary Press. John MacArthur and the seminary and his church there have really put out a great hymnal. It has old songs, it has new songs and hymns. We recommend not only that you use it in church, which we do every Sunday, but also that you have one at home. It's so important that I give one of these to every new family that joins our church. And I even tell them to grab some more in the bookstore because you will need more than one in the family as you do family worship. And it's important to sing one, maybe two hymns each day with your family. It helps you worship. Singing is, of course, worship. Reading scripture is worship. Prayer is worship. And all of those things we recommend that families do. But even if you're by yourself, it's good to have a hymnal. Especially right now with the stay-at-home and live streaming, you can have a hymnal right in front of you as you sing with our church. So these are the recommended resources that I've recommended so far to our church. When we can start meeting again, I'll be recommending each month a new book as well. So I hope this has been a helpful video series for you. I hope that you'll grab these and grow in the Christian life.